Okay, this is Ringwalk Media in association with Well Ice Therapy, Still Hub Management and Barclay Carter Racing. Mr. Jamie Moore, victorious trainer of I can't say it. KULAKHMET. I tell you what, a tricky southpaw, and he's very, very good.
He is. He's really good, and he's had one setback, which he went and stood and traded with a Colombian puncher, which is one of the no-nos in boxing. So he has had one setback, but he's 29, 30 years old, and the plan originally was for him to try and win a world title within 7 fights. He ended up losing his fourth or fifth fight. He's had a couple since, and this one was at short notice. So he got offered the fight on Saturday, and he got on a flight, landed yesterday morning, and I picked him up from the airport, took him straight to the weigh-in. He weighed in. He's a super welterweight, and that was at like 7 kilo over his natural weight, but he's gone in there, he's performed, and he's put himself in a position now where we can hopefully get a world title shot.
I'll tell you what, he's tricky enough, and he's certainly fit enough. He would seem to be chipping away in those first early rounds, and then body shot, absolutely vicious, mate.
Yeah, sickening shot. It was a beautiful. I mean, that's something, to be honest. We have worked with him for a long time since he's been with us about switching this to the body, because they don't really emphasise on that in the amateurs. So he's in good shape because he trains with the Kazakh national team back at home, and he's just tried to qualify for the Olympics, and he got beat in a tournament in the final against the world number one. So he's still fighting at that sort of standard in the amateurs. So that was why he's able to take it at short notice. But I honestly believe if he gets the opportunity, he can win a world title. Give him 8 weeks notice so he can get down to the weight safely at super welterweight, and I don't think there's anyone beating him at that weight.
Well, I'll tell you what, he does look a handful, and it was a shame we couldn't see more of it. I love it when people sort of bend down and run past, we could still see them. Where do you go next to him? Because obviously he's not clearly training in the UK. How do you deal with that?
No, he's going to come back. I mean, he does train here when he's got a proper date. It's just that this was a last minute thing, so he just flew over here.
So he does his camps here and then goes. Yeah,
he trains here. He's been staying at the fight house. What we've got with all the other fighters when he's originally been here. So hopefully Lee Eaton can get him a big fight or sign him on with a big promoter, and they can try and push him, because all he needs is the chance to fight for a world title, because I really believe he can win one.
Well, listen, Lee Eaton, you must be listening. You'll definitely be watching, because I'm going to tag you. Listen to what Mr. Moore said.
He's just told me now. I've just seen him ringside, and he said, "I'm really going to push him now to try and get him a big fight." So,
to be fair, I was sat right behind him. He was very impressed with the performance, and he looked good.
Yeah, rightly so. I think everyone who's seen that will be. I mean, that guy was a 50-50 guy. It was a late minute job, but it was a lot bigger naturally. He's survived against some really good fighters at super middleweight and light heavyweight, and he's a super welterweight, and just got him out there with a pearl of a body shot.
And how good is it to be back on Box Nation? We all remember Box Nation. This is the third coming. It's brilliant to be back out there.
Brought back from the dead. I thought it was finished, and it's great to see any platform which is putting boxing out there and bringing people's awareness to the sport is only a good thing, isn't it?
Absolutely, mate. And listen, you've got a big night coming up in about 2.5, 3 weeks' time.
Yeah. Well, we've got a big night tomorrow. Mark Leach is fighting Peter McGrail.
I'll be there. I shall speak to you again.
Yeah, and then I've got the week after, I've got Hannah Robinson making a debut, and then a couple of weeks after that, we've got Jack fighting Josh. So yeah, busy few weeks.
And everything going all right with everybody?
Perfect. Yeah, no injuries, no one struggling with the weight. Everything's perfect. So please God, let it stay that way.
And of course, you mentioned there, Mark Leach. He's going out against Peter McGrail tomorrow night. That's a must-win for both of them.
Of course it is, and listen, Peter McGrail's a phenomenal fighter, but so's Mark Leach on his night. And anyone who thinks that Mark Leach hasn't got a chance is crazy. I mean, you're talking about a kid who the first day Carl Frampton walked in our gym, was stood there watching him sparring for the first time and went, "Who the fuck is this kid?" Like he's special when he's on it, and he's took this fight at 5 weeks' notice, which is not ideal. But that's a good training camp for Mark. So I looked at the odds today, and he's 12-1 just to win. For me, that's crazy, especially against someone who's coming off a knockout loss. So he's got a chance, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good fight.
Well, listen, I know you want to shoot off. You got things to do, as always, mate. Really good to speak to you. I've no doubt I'll be speaking to you tomorrow as well, if you haven't legged it after the fight.
We'll get it, no problem at all.
Yeah, and hopefully we haven't got about 1 million people walking past us as well. So, but listen, always good to see you, mate, and thanks for your time.
Cheers, pal.